This is the smallest wireless mic I have ever seen. I mean, just look how discreet this thing is. It's called the Hollyland Lark M2s, and it's really impressive in some ways, but also a bit of a letdown in others. Like all wireless mics, the M2s comes with a charging case. This one actually looks very similar to what you get with the DJI mics, but it does feel noticeably cheaper and more plasticky. I mean, just listen. That said, it seems to work well enough. I think it's just a difference in the quality of the materials used, and I've never had any issues with the charging connections or anything like that when I plug the receivers or the transmitters back into this thing. Inside the case, there's also a space for holding the receiver for your smartphone if you want to film on that. Now, this can be either the Lightning adapter or the USB-C, depending upon your smartphone, though it's important to mention that not all of the kits of this mic come with the Lightning adapter. They all come with the USB-C, but if you want the Lightning one, you're gonna have to get the Ultimate kit. This kit also comes with a charging cable, connection cable for the camera receiver, 2 windscreens for the transmitters, and a little carrying pouch. The transmitters and receivers themselves are actually quite light, which is a little bit confusing because I think I'm like naturally predisposed to thinking that things are heavier when they're higher quality. So because these things are so light, they almost seem low quality, though in reality, what you want is for these to be light, especially the transmitters, because these things clip right onto your shirt, and if they were heavy, then they would drag your shirt down, but because they're nice and light, they clip on beautifully and don't drag it down, showing anything you don't want to see. The transmitters stay in place well because they have a little rubber grip on either side of the clasp, and this loop on the top is also encased in that rubber, and that stops it from sliding around on your collar, which would introduce a bunch of noise, and you don't want that. What's worth noting about this design, though, is that clipping it over clothes like this is really the only way to attach the transmitter to a person. There's no magnets or anything like that included for you to attach it through clothing, so your options are much more limited with this as opposed to like the DJI Mic Mini. The camera transmitter is pretty basic with a little control wheel here to adjust the receiver gain, but the mics can also be controlled using Hollyland's app, which I actually found works really smoothly, and it gives much more clear, direct control over features like noise cancellation, which we'll talk about in a minute. If you want to record each transmitter separately, this is also where you can turn on the stereo sound feature to split the 2 transmitters onto different sides of the audio track. The Lark M2s comes in at around $150 US, depending upon which kit you buy for it. Now, this is a pretty competitive price because both the DJI Mic Mini and the Rode Wireless Micro are around the same budget point. Overall, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 when it comes to build quality because it's very practical, it works just fine, but there's something that just doesn't feel quite as high-end about it as the DJI. Perceived build quality is really only one factor though. Let's look at the specs on this thing. Each transmitter has enough battery for about 9 hours of shooting, which is more than enough for a full day of filming. Plus, the charging case adds to that, and you can get about 30 hours, which is roughly 3 full charges on all of the transmitters and the receivers out of this thing. Honestly, at this point, battery life is hardly a consideration these days because once you get to about 9 or 10 hours of battery on each transmitter, plus the charging case, you'd have to be putting it through some really weird, extreme niche filming situations to ever have these things die on you. As far as audio quality and recording codecs, the M2s records 24-bit audio directly to your smartphone or to your camera. There is no 32-bit float or internal recording with this thing, so you are going to have to rely on the transmission connection into your device if you want a clear signal or clear audio. Hollyland also claims that you can get up to 1,000 feet of transmission distance on the M2s. 1, 2, 3, 105, 106, 107. I don't know if I have 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet really isn't any good if you can't go around things. I mean, what, you're in a football stadium and there's nothing getting in your way? So now we're really behind some trees. There's a whole... Okay, so we fully lost it behind those trees, which actually makes me wonder if like I get something like a door in the way. Will this... Can you still hear me? What if I go downstairs? How about now? Okay, good. So that doesn't seem to be an issue. That's a more practical use case. I don't know when I would be like 600 feet away in a field behind a grove of trees trying to get transmission with this thing. Overall, I have to give it a 5 out of 10 on specs just because it doesn't have internal recording or 32-bit float, but I want to make it clear that I don't expect these things at this price point. The Rode version and the DJI version don't have these things either. I just want to scale it on like an objective scale as opposed to saying, well, because it's only $150, then it gets a 10 out of 10. That wouldn't be fair. Specs are one thing, but is this going to give you good audio? Well, maybe, but audio is about more than just capturing your own voice. It's music and sound design. All of these things work together to keep your viewer watching, which is where Epidemic Sound comes in. Epidemic Sound is a huge online library containing over 50,000 songs and 200,000 Hollywood-grade sound effects, all of which you are given unlimited access to for soundtracking your projects. The thing that really makes Epidemic special is their commitment to making your job easier as an editor. Right when you log in, they immediately recommend tracks that fit your vibe, and their AI-powered search bar understands exactly what you're looking for in your own language. They also have a track remixing tool called Versions that can make any song the exact length that you need for it to fit your edit perfectly. And all of these features and more are available in their extensions for Adobe and DaVinci Resolve, so you can browse, save, and drag and drop tracks directly onto your timeline without dealing with a browser tab or multi-step downloads. I absolutely love Epidemic, and I've been using them for years, so I highly recommend you check them out. You can do that totally for free and get started by going through the link that I have down in the description below. Thank you, Epidemic Sound, for sponsoring this video. Now let's go see how the Hollylands sound. So here I have the M2s and I'm comparing it to the Rode Wireless Pro. Why the Rode Wireless Pro? Well, because in my opinion, it's sort of the gold standard for audio quality on a semi-creator friendly budget and completely wireless. Keep in mind that the Rode is about twice the price of the Hollyland, but there's a lot of other differences that make up that price jump other than audio quality. So for now, let's just focus on the audio quality of these two mics attached to my shirt. This is them with the windscreen on, which is how you would use them in this sort of situation. It's not a super windy day, just a little bit breezy, but regardless, when you're outside, you sort of need windscreens no matter what. Now for the indoor audio test. This should hopefully give you a little bit better idea of just the clarity of these two mics in comparison to each other without the background noise of being outside getting in the way. Again, I'm comparing the Hollyland Lark M2s to the Rode Wireless Pro, and I'm going to be switching between them so that you can see how it compares. Remember, the Lark is a much cheaper microphone. It's like $150, where the Rode, when you buy it brand new, is around $400. I'm listening to this now and really it's pretty apparent to me that the Rode has a much deeper, fuller sound than the Hollyland. I just think that the Lark is a good option for more casual content creation, but if you're really going after the best audio quality, I think it'd be better to get a Rode Wireless Pro. Just stick the thing in your pocket, have the cable running up, because to my ears, it sounds substantially better, although it is much less convenient.
So I'm, dang, that was really loud. I'm on my way to the gym, and I figured I'd just test the noise reduction on the Lark M2s right out here by the highway. I'm sure you can hear it. It's really obnoxious. And this is noise cancellation on the low setting, which probably isn't enough. I'm gonna let you listen a little bit to the highway and to my voice, see if it makes a difference, and then we'll switch to the high noise cancellation. Okay, this is the high noise cancellation. Hopefully this is a little bit more effective than the low. I mean, it's supposed to be, but when you turn on high noise cancellation with stuff like this, it tends to distort your voice a little bit more. And with the semi-inconsistencies of the highway, I'm not sure how it's gonna perform. And obviously I don't know yet. So I'll leave it up to you. What do you think?
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Noise reduction on microphones is stupid. I don't think that it really has a place in professional productions, at least like 99% of the time. And in this case, the Hollyland, it truly just, it doesn't seem to be very strong, and when it is turned to the highest level, you're definitely getting that distortion in my voice while still not removing a whole lot of the noise from the background highway. So I don't think it's really worth using, but again, I would never have used it in the first place. So who is this thing for?
If you don't need 32-bit float, or you're just looking for a lav mic to easily connect to your phone, I mean, it's pretty hard to argue that the M2s is anything short of perfection when it comes to size and ease of use.
If you're a mobile creator or somebody who simply doesn't like to sync their audio in post, then I can't recommend this microphone enough. On the other hand, it's definitely not for professional use. For that, I would use something that has 32-bit float and internal recording. And if you want to know which options might be best for you to pick up, even though it might be a higher price point, you should check out this video up over here where I compare the two best ones on the market.